Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot is a disgrace. Everything she does seems to make the city worse. Right now, children are dying in her city at record rates, but instead of giving more money to the police and addressing the problems behind why crime is so high, she's doing this.
Joyous Kwanzaa, Chicago. Amy and I wish to extend a very beautiful and prosperous Kwanzaa to all of you celebrating this season.
As you light the candles and gather in unity, we hope your holiday is filled with rejoicing and happiness.
The 7 principles of Kwanzaa guide us to unity and cooperation as we work to uplift and protect our neighbors.
Principle 8, try not to get shot. Remember when all those police officers turned their backs on the mayor? Well, members of the Chicago police force will no longer be silent about the mayor's attitude regarding chaos in our city. Listen.
This mayor does not care about Chicago police officers, period. She doesn't care about any first responders. She doesn't care about the damn city. Doesn't matter if you're white, black, Asian, Hispanic, other, straight, gay, Democrat or Republican. She don't even care about her city workers. All that lady cares about is her self. And I pray you're watching this, because you're a disgrace.
Yeah, he represents cops, Chicago. Case in point, over 60 people were arrested again and charged with violent crimes while out on bond, and that's just in Chicago. That means leaders are letting criminals go just for them to go and commit crimes again when they get out, and that means that these criminals are also not scared at all of being punished when they do. One of those criminals, 22-year-old Malik Pratit, he was arrested and accused of trying to kill a 17-year-old girl during a drug deal, and Malik was trying to shoot this girl while out on bail and wearing a monitoring device for separate gun and drug charges. Remember the Kyle Rittenhouse trial? One of the people Kyle shot in self-defense was Joseph Rosenbaum. He was in jail for over 10 years after being convicted of raping a minor, or more than one minor, I believe it was several. Rosenbaum was also released from a hospital earlier in the day of the Kenosha riots after attempting to commit suicide. Look at this guy. I just learned about him today, and his case really shows how liberal ideology policies are seriously hurting families and communities. Travis Lang from Indiana is facing murder charges after killing 24-year-old Dylan McGinnis. But here's the kicker. Travis Lang was only able to get out of prison to commit the murder because a liberal group called the Bail Project helped pay for Lang's pretrial release for a cocaine possession charge in January. So he gets out and then kills someone. In 2021, the Bail Project raised over $33 million and spent almost $20 million helping free dangerous people to get out of jail. They're a liberal fantasy. If their politicians can't help you escape prison, at least they'll give you more time to commit crime on the outside before you go to jail. Biden's America, folks. Here to react is Dave Galluch. He's the Republican candidate for state representative in Pennsylvania. Thank you for joining us, sir. Now, we talked to you, and then you're going up against a Democrat. This Democrat, tell us about who your opponent is and what her flip-flop ability is all about. David.
Thank you very much for having me on, Eric, and a Merry Christmas to you and the viewers. Thanks for having me on. So I'm running against Congresswoman Mary Gay Scanlon. She was carjacked last week at gunpoint in Philadelphia in FDR Park. Broad daylight at 12:30 in the afternoon. Now, the interesting thing about this is that in the month, our DA actually came on and said at the 500th homicide in Philadelphia that we didn't have a crime problem, we didn't have a violence problem, and then later this month, the sitting congresswoman is carjacked in broad daylight. So the question is, if the congresswoman is not safe, then who is safe in the city of Philadelphia?
And I think that we want to bring you on because you're running as a Republican, and it's somehow at some point, all of 2020, more than a year ago, not this year, but a year ago, the Democrats were defund the police, including Philadelphia. They were pushing to defund the Philadelphia Police Department. As you point out, crime spiked. Homicides have broken a record in Philadelphia. And now those same defund the police people, the woman you're running against, have seen the light. Now they're fund the police and they're calling for more police. We're calling out the hypocrisy on the left. Is that about right?
That's absolutely correct. Look, I mean, make no mistake about it. failed liberal policies are responsible for what we're seeing in these big cities. When you have DAs, when you have the House Progressive Caucus saying defund means defund, when you have folks like Congresswoman Scanlon and folks like DA Krasner who are endorsing low bail and no cash bail policies, when you have a DA who refuses to charge people with a felony on their 5th carjacking offense, it's no secret that you're going to create an environment of lawbreaking, and that's exactly what we have in Philadelphia. And the real shame about it is they're doing this in the name of, helping the needy, helping folks that they say whose voices aren't heard, but the people most heard by these policies are the very people that they're claiming to help. I'm the son of a single mom. My father was killed before I was born. He was killed by a drunk driver, and I can tell you right now, there are a lot of single moms in Philadelphia who have been a victim of property theft, have been a victim of carjacking, and their perpetrators have never been found. Their property has never been returned, yet the Congresswoman's car was found in 24 hours, and her assailant is being charged as aggressively as possible right now. So I think you have to ask the question, why do some get swift and fair justice and a whole bunch of people in Philadelphia don't?
Yeah, it's interesting. We're rolling some video of some of the more recent crime. We just saw, that was New York, where a thug goes on an elevator and pulls an octogenarian, an 80-year-old plus women. Okay, we're showing Philly there, but at the elevator where the guy goes on, pulls an 80-year-old out of the elevator, assaults her and slams her into the wall. My point is this: Chicago, New York, Philadelphia, liberal cities, liberal mayors, defund the police cities, and crime is spiking. It's going to take a Republican at state representative level to make some changes. What do you say to the mayor of Philadelphia, who's a Democrat, who was calling for defunding the police, who now has the most homicides on his watch?
Yeah, I would say people are hungry for leadership, and they're hungry for common sense. It shouldn't be a partisan thing to charge someone who holds up a vehicle at gunpoint to put them away and to take them off the streets. That's absolutely what we need to do. That should be an easy policy to advocate for. You need the courageous leadership to stand up for people whose voices are not being heard, and that's what's going on in Philadelphia. And look, I think we need to provide opportunity for people in Philadelphia. We need to develop our communities, but you can't have that if you don't have the most fundamental public good of all, and that's public safety, and everything else rests on top of it.
And you need those mayors to back the police department. If the
Absolutely.
mayor doesn't back the police department, they can't do their job. Don't point your finger at the cops, point your finger at the prosecutors and the mayors of those cities. David Galluch, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me, Eric.
You just watched Newsmax TV, America's fastest growing cable news channel, now in more than 70 million homes. You can get Newsmax TV on your cable system or check your cable guide. And if your system doesn't carry Newsmax, call them, tell them you want Newsmax TV, because we're real news for real people.